Hello, and welcome back to another episode of A Brief History. Today's episode, Martin Luther King. Ready, set,
Stop. This is a really brief history with Magic Card Vegan King. Ready, set, read!
Okay. January 15th, 1921, Michael King, later known as Martin Luther King Jr., is born at 501 Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. September 20th, 1944, King begins his freshman year at Morehouse College in Atlanta. June 8th, 1948, King receives his Bachelor of Arts degree in Sociology from Morehouse College. September 13th, 1951, King begins his graduate studies in systematic theology at Boston University. June 18th, 1953, King and Coretta Scott are married at the Scott home near Marion, Alabama.
June 5th, 1955, King is awarded his doctorate in the systematic theology from Boston University. November 17th, 1955, Yolanda Denise King, the King's first child, is born. January 30th, 1956. At 9:15 p.m., while King speaks at a mass meeting, his home is bombed. His wife and daughter are not injured. Later, King addresses an angry crowd that gathers outside the house, pleading for nonviolence. 17th May, 1957. At the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., King delivers his first national address, Give Us the Ballot, at the Prayer Pilgrimage for Freedom. 23rd October, 1957. Coretta King gives birth to their second child, Martin III. September 17th, 1958. King's first book, Stride Toward Freedom, The Montgomery Story, is published. September 20th, 1958. During a book signed at Bloomstein's department store in Harlem, New York, King is stabbed by Isala Ware Curry. He is rushed to Harlem Hospital, where a team of doctors successfully remove a 7-inch letter opener from his chest. May 25th to May 28th.
May 25th to May 28th, 1960.
King is found not guilty of tax fraud by a white jury in Montgomery. 23rd June, 1960. King meets privately in New York with Democratic presidential candidate John F. Kennedy. January 31st, 1961. Dexter Scott, King's first child.
Third child.
Now we pass it on.
Okay, so October 16th, 1961, King meets with President John F. Kennedy and urges him to issue a second Emancipation Proclamation to eliminate racial segregation. March 28th, 1963, Bernice Albertine, King's fourth child, is born. June 5th, 1963, Strength to Love, King's Book of Sermons, is published. August 28th, 1963, the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom attracts more than 200,000 demonstrators to the Lincoln Memorial, organized by A. Philip Randolph and Bayard Rustin. The march is supported by all major civil rights organizations, as well as many labor and religious groups. King delivers his I Have a Dream speech after the march. King and other civil rights leaders meet with President John F. Kennedy and Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson in the White House. October 10th, 1963, the U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy authorizes the FBI to wiretap King's home phone. January 3rd, 1963, King is named Man of the Year by Time magazine. January 18th, 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson meets with King, Roy Wilkins, Whitney Young, and James Farmer and seeks support for his War on Poverty initiative. February 19th, 1964, Robert Haling, leader of the St. Augustine, Florida, invites King and SCLC, whatever that means, to join the struggle. King, dang it, March 26, 1964, King meets Malcolm X in Washington, D.C. for the first and only time. June 1964, King's book Why We Can't Wait is published. June 11th, 1964, King is arrested and jailed for demanding service at a white-only restaurant in St. Augustine, Florida. December 10th, 1964, King receives the Nobel Peace Prize at a ceremony in Oslo, Norway. He declares that every penny of the $54,000 award will be used in the ongoing civil rights struggle. We forgot the date. Sometime in 1965, King's family moves to their new home at 234 Sunset Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia.
Whoa!
Yes. March 7th, 1965. In an event that will become known as the Bloody Sunday, voting rights marchers are beaten at the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, as they attempt to march to Montgomery. We're skipping this one. This one's not important. January 26, 1966, King and his wife moved to an apartment at 1550 South Hamlin Avenue in Chicago to draw attention to the city's poor housing conditions. February 23rd, in Chicago, King meets Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad. June 1967, King's book Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community is published.
Oh, you got this.
This is you.
It is.
Yeah, we take turns at this part.
Okay, 3rd April, 1968. King returns to Memphis, determined to lead a peaceful march. During an eventing rally at Mason Temple
Evening
of
rally,
Moses,
man.
King delivers his final speech. I've been to the mountaintop.
April 4th, 1968. King is shot and killed while standing on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, which is now a museum. I just added that.
9th of April, 1968. King has been buried in Atlanta.
And that concludes a really brief history. That was 7 minutes long. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We gotta edit a lot of parts out of this video. But
Is it outro time?
That little mouse, 'cause I'm an albatross.
that was beautiful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next episode of A Really Brief History whenever I'm told to do this again. Goodbye.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Yes.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day
Yes.
this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today